Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming at you live tonight with the hotness that is Velocity versus New God Flow. Two titans of really recognizable names and just really strong players coming together. I'm Ro. I'm here with Marxist. Console, the bleeding cameraman, has got us covered. He won't be able to talk tonight, but he's communicating to us via fingers. Finger tongues, you could say.
He's been typing out directions all night long. It'll be great. But it looks like we've already got most or all of our players in, if I can do the math. So let's talk about rosters real quick, and then hopefully they'll be live by the time we're done.
You take it. Pick your choice. Go.
All right. New God Flow, 404, Medic, Dingo, Demo. Psy and Marmaduke will be your soldiers. Patty and Evil Mr. Muffins will be your scouts.
And over on the side of Velocity, we've got the classic setup. Jarrett the Demo with Shamu and Boar on Scout. They've got Speedy and Rakuso covering the soldier end with Sky on Medic. And they're looking to take some names.
Yeah, and New God Flow's roster looks super good, but they've had difficulties with their performance this season. But we'll see. It's still kind of down to the wire here. This is the final week of the season here. So this one got canceled earlier on and is now being played tonight. And it's probably the last game of the regular season that you'll see here on TFTV. But we shall find out. So New God Flow, they're 8-7, and Velocity are 11-4. So if you're using your standings as your guide, this should be a pretty easy match for Velocity, but with Flow having such a strong roster, you never know. Also, I should point out too that the players are using a lot of custom signs, and they're pretty impressive.
Oh, no, he just put it away. Poor sign guy. Sign guy used to be the best, but now I can't see his sign, so there's no point. But more to the point, where does New God Flow stand? Does losing this match have really bad implications for them, or is it just a matter of, hey, we've already locked up third, worst we can get is 4? What's the standing?
All right, I'm gonna go look at the standings right now. So the deal, New God Flow, if they lose, let me see, Mentality actually is like right on them. But they have 2 matches still pending, and I think they're against dead teams. They might not be, but yeah. So if New God Flow loses here, they could end up in some sort of tie scenario. I'm not sure. It changes like every time, depending on who you ask, whether head-to-head or rounds 4 counts first. But that could be a problem.
It's a mystery.
It doesn't affect Velocity at all, however, if they lose.
Okay. So we're just in a no holds bar, no stakes, high performance TF2, Marxist. That's exactly what I'm expecting.
Well, if Flow loses badly, that could be a big problem. So.
Oh no, I had it backwards. I was thinking Velocity was the 8-7 team. Never mind. Yeah, no, there are stakes. New God Flow really should win if they want to clutch onto whatever it is in the playoffs.
All right, let's see. The Mentality, who are the challengers that as of yet are not being casted. Let's see. I need to find out how they lost to Velocity one time. They have beaten New God Flow already one time. Let's see. There should be more games, and my brain just isn't seeing them right now. But yeah, it's that the fact that they have beaten New God Flow before really hurts. Yeah, okay. Then they played them again and got crushed by New God Flow. So there's a split head-to-head, and the rounds 4 and against are then what would count.
Yes.
And let's see. They're not going to make it, is Mentality, because they have 2 I assume forfeits that are coming down the pipeline, and those will only give them 4 rounds. So New God Flow will not lose their 4th place position even if they get 5-0'd. But this is a good feeler match because in all likelihood, if the bracket goes the way it probably will, then Velocity and New Godflow will have to play each other for third, which would be important. So you kind of want to feel each other out. And Process is one of the big three, so chances are you may end up seeing this match during the playoffs, or this map between these two teams. So we'll see.
Yeah, no, I think that's a very relevant breakdown. This is going to be down the line, you know. This is just there's less stakes because they know they can just do whatever for this game. But if they take it to heart and really like try and focus on what needs to be accomplished, what they can learn from these mids, these last pushes and last holds, we can see how much of an impact it makes later on in the playoffs, like you said.
Yep, because it could be really big. We've seen, at least I have, a lot of Sunshine and Metalworks this season just because of the way the pick bans have worked. But Process is likely, because you're playing best of threes, you're gonna see Process at some point in those. So this is good. We're gonna get a little preview of what's gonna come up in the playoffs as we go live here with Velocity in blue and the New Godflow in red.
Things are cooking up as Jarrett misses the first ramp. Poor shame. Gonna just grab the second ramp slide. Saw a guy a little bit there earlier. A little denial from Marmaduke Grills, who's been also denied himself. Gonna be backing things up here. Very passive play, but Velocity I think has the upper hand here because with Marmaduke Grills only just now getting back into the fray. He's jumping in really fast, comes from behind, but is only just now putting in a little bit of pressure. First frag goes to Rakuso, taking out Saigai. The demo man down is really good, but now there's a disconnect. Velocity needs to protect their medic, and thankfully Shamu is here with a little bit of help from the pipes of Jarrett. But Marmaduke Girls is also locking off that escape route, so it's going to be a really desperate move right now. A little bit of initiation here. There comes Rakuso from the back lines, gets the damage onto 404, and the kill goes to them. Both medics down at this time, and New Godflow being at the last frag in a very scrappy fight. Rakuso still not going to yield at all, and a follow-up from the bombing Soldier Speedy is going to knock some heads, but it's not going to win them a mid.
Yeah, and it looks like we're liars here earlier because they've got Saigai on demo right now, which is, I mean, Sai was so good on Soldier last season. I know I've casted them before this season. They've tried this as well. So for Flow, really, they ended up winning that really long drawn-out fight mainly just by attrition. But Marmaduke was really the X factor there. He came in with the distractions, pressuring on Jarrett at like just the right moments to totally screw everything up. And as he dies to a headshot, so casting Curse, they have brought out the offensive Boar Sniper, one of the best snipers we've got in NA right now as the fight breaks out here. And they're all over the place, but Flow kind of taking the better end of it so far, having taken out Shamu. They'll also take out Rakuso. So no soldiers at all for Velocity right now. And Marmaduke is on his way back. But they're going to go ahead and chariot this thing in for right now. But that's a big risk for your med there because there's a sniper still on the field.
So they're just going to no longer mess with the best. They're going to pop that Uber off. Patty going to take him down quickly. No more sniper to contend with. But the Uber was so forced early in this counter pop. So late. Thankfully, 4-4 managed to sneak into that sewer, avoid a lot of danger. And now the pressure's on from Patty. He's rushing in with the pistol. He's got so much damage. Can the soldier get the shot? It's just an arrow shot to survive. And no, it's just a full wipe. Boar on the respawn now, working his way over to the rollout room. He's not going to survive very long in this. And they're still trying to cap second, so there will be respawns. Maybe.
Yeah, and we do have the shotgun coming out from Dingo there as he secures the kill. They do have a temporary heavy from Speedy, but it doesn't stop the flow, and they go ahead and take that one pretty easily. 404 already declaring GG, and as they go into the second mid.
Yeah, we'll see Jared doing a little bit better this time around. A lot more health to work with against Saigai, who, again, a little bit low on this end, working his way out. We do see very passive play, positioning rather, from Rakuso. He sees Marmaduke Grills and a follow from Dingo. He's going to get some good damage onto Saigai, but get knocked down. He's desperate for some heals here. Gets the arrow back up. And Marta Grills, once again, picking a nice little perch here. He's choosing really good spots to hold down for his team. And now he's just waiting for the initiation. Mr. Muffin's on top. Not going to yield here either. He's getting onto Speedy, falls around and grabs that around the bend. And Marta Grills cleans up a few frags of his own as he's going to be going in onto Sky. Not going to be popping that Uber off. 88%. And Jarrett goes down. Patty is on the hunt. Mr. Muffins gets in there. A lot of pressure coming out. Oh, so low on health. No, Rakuso survived. He was so low. One more pistol shot, even after reloading, would have done it. And now Rakuso's going to be pushing out here. Sagai setting up for a second hold, and they haven't even started the mid capture.
Yeah, he probably could have got that kill, but with arrows in play now, the way they are, you never know. And
Right.
if you lose your scout there, then your med 4-4 will die. Because there'd be no way for him to get back, and you're getting the slow spawn for not having cap mid. So that would have been challenging. But now the situation rests with both teams having Uber, and we'll probably see some attempt to break it. It looks like they're pressuring IT really strong right now, trying to take out the usual holders of that. And no, then Marmaduke bombs through, gets air shot more or less by Jarrett, and the distraction didn't work. But that mid was actually, for Flow, was basically the same mid that they ran last time, and it worked really well again. So Marmaduke's just super distraction there. And I also really appreciate, there was a great little moment where Dingo and Marm both had no health. And you could see they clearly communicated to each other that Dingo needed the health pack, because then Marmaduke just went for his big long flank and got the other medium kid on the other side of the map, came back and finished the mid.
That's the way things pan out. Waiting right now for New God Flow to initiate in some kind of manner. Muffins not going to be doing anything. It's Marmaduke Grills, the initiator here, coming into the choke. Actually, with a little bit of help from Psy Guy, who gets a little snipe sticky onto the direct point-blank damage of the rocket. Gonna take down poor Mr. Patty. Shamu now gonna be the next frag. Speedy, a little bit desperate to get into Dingo, and Dingo takes him down with the shoddy boom body. And now it's Velocity, desperate to get away. Nice little pipe action from Jarrett to take down Psy Guy, but he's not gonna be able to make it through the shutter in time. Sky abandoning very quickly. So now we're on a little bit of a defensive hold here, and there's a little bit of pressure coming out right now through the rollout room. Gonna back out though. New God Flow thinks they've got a better chance of doing this the right way, by the books.
Yeah, and Dingo securing the shotgun price. Now, I'm pretty sure that's all a lie there. I'm pretty sure Dingo is Psy Guy and Psy Guy is actually Dingo. Just judging from what my friends list thing is telling me, I'm pretty sure they're aliased as each other. And that's why Dingo is playing like an absolute god right now on the Pocket Soldier.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I recognize the Judy from Spy Kids avatar as being a Dingo trademark. So I would have to agree with you. And we do see Mr. Muffins desperate to get in here. Does some nice little juking, but thankfully Speedy navigates his way across, and then the follow-up from Arctic Grills is just a little bit too late. If he was 2 seconds sooner, that could have definitely netted a frag at the very least, but now we're seeing Velocity 2 men up, but might lose one more to any of these traps, any of these spam points right now. Speedy gonna be calling for the Uber right out the gate. He comes through. No! Psy Guy, aka Dingo, gonna det that one down.
Yeah, and that's the right way to approach that. This map, for process getting off your own last, is usually not that hard, because you really only have to worry about 2 of the doors. And so that makes it pretty easy to get out of here. But, you know, you lose a player, down the ship goes. But if he could have got out, that probably would have developed. On the flip side, we now have the vaunted Marmaduke Sniper. He, you know, we have Boar in the game. Boar is widely considered the best. Marmaduke is old and wizened and will get you eventually.
Right. He's got these little angles peeking forward, and now Patty actually following up with some damage. He knows Speedy's low, but the arrow brings him back to life, and now Marmaduke Girls hopping his way over to a new angle. Not going to get any more room because Jarrett is just constantly laying down this pressure, but he's losing his traps in the process. So now it's going to be really a matter of Marmaduke Girls getting this angle right here. Oh! Jarrett, no!
No, it didn't happen. But this is the, oh, he goes down to Boar's body shot. And they're going to try to push out again. We'll see how it goes. This is a testy process, because if you really screw it up, you lose the round. Yeah, that's... They send their roamer in to try and do essentially a counter sack. Doesn't accomplish very much, and that'll pull him back. They still have the Boar sniper being rushed by a scout. That was Patty. He'll come back out now. And things will kind of reset. It looks like Marmaduke decided to hang up his rifle for now. Oh, Patty's in trouble, stuck in the lobby, but he'll escape. The arrow helped quite a bit there. Very clutch. But now it's just a Boar sniper, so they're going to have to come up with another suicide plan here.
And depending on how they work, because Marmaduke Grills in the last attempt was able to get him really fast, and he's actually managed to jump his way all the way across this lobby. Does not manage to pick anything up. In fact, Patty manages to go down there to pressure from Speedy. I'm gonna guess that happened somewhere in lobby. I'm looking for a scattering. Yeah, he tried to rush through main lobby. So now we do see Godflow sitting on top of the second. There's a little bit of pressure coming in from Speedy. He wants to time this just right. He's trying to get those angles, but it's not gonna be getting anywhere. And Marmaduke Girls, oh, not gonna be able to live very long. That was a quick shot from Boar, who's been charging up that whole time. Now I'm a little suspicious. This might be an opportunity to push.
Yeah, it definitely is. Especially because Flow seemed to be kind of confused. But no, Sky gets forced. Or decides to just go ahead and pop it. I assume it's a force. And that puts them in a really bad position because you've got Ubered Flow players in here right now. Both scouts up on the point. Soldiers are going to come in right now. That's Psy Guy, aka Dingo, coming in, and Marmaduke gets all over them. Yeah, they're dead. So very well orchestrated play there. The scouts kind of led in, drug everybody forward, and then with velocity bottled up, they just got destroyed by a double soldier bomb. So really nice stuff there.
Yeah, very good job from Mr. Muffins, capping it off, sealing the deal. And now Marmaduke Grills on top of this crate. He sees Jarrett, hits him with a nice fat one. Not going to be pushing anymore. He's playing a little passive. He knows he's got to be a little more careful here, but now he's actually managed to be not really a factor, and he's backed out. So now Velocity needs to take control of this. They're taking over the left side, not going to let up any more room. They've got the cat time going in their favor, too. A lot of air exchanges going on right now. Jared and Marmaduke Grills trading. We're going to be seeing a little more action on this bomb from Dingo, aka Psy Guy. Gets sawed by Sky, but Sky is disconnected from Boar, and Boar needs to meet up. There it is, actually. It's Rakuso, the respawner, maybe coming in hot, but the Uber is ready for 404, and Boar is trying to meet up with them. The Uber comes out, not going to get the force. Finally does onto 404 with a much lengthier time to work with. Sky might go down here, not going to juke that one, and Mr. Muffins sneaks away on top of it all. But Boar does manage to pick up with 1 HP. Marmaduke Grills dies in the back lines, gets pistols down.
Yeah, that was, if you're wondering what the deal was there with Sky essentially forcing Uber super early, is that due to having gotten the saw, Sky took the most logical decision, which was, I got a saw and still didn't get Uber. They obviously don't have Uber, so I think they kind of figured they needed to use it there, but 404 had been sitting pretty on Uber for a long time, so that play didn't pan out at all. Flow are pressuring right now to see if they can get any kind of opening. The idea behind that is they know they've got huge Uber advantage, and if you can generate a off Uber push from mid to 2, then you've got that Uber in your pocket for last, and we're headed to halftime. But that's not going to happen, so now they've got to use the Uber to take the point. They're going to go IT, it looks like.
A very aggressive bomb from Speedy, right into the choke, blind, takes down Mr. Muffins. So one less fragging power to contend with. Flow, though, have just enough players to make this work. They're chasing in deep, but Sky's got that Uber ready. Boar goes down. That's going to be a little bit more painful for Velocity in this exchange, I think. And with Psy Guy jumping behind, and Patty also hiding, this is not looking good at all for Velocity. They're going to get pinched right here as Psy Guy's cutting off the escape route. Initiation from Patty, as well as Dingo. He's putting in the sticky pressure, takes down the medic, and now it's just Shamu, who's not going to be able to do much here, I don't think. But thankfully, Speedy cutting off some rockets to support, and Patty still wins the fight. He's going to be juking his best, but Boar surely will take it down. One more to take down Mr. Muffins. Come on, Boar, you can do it. Get back in there. No! Rakuso sneaks in and takes out that frag. So now, New Godflow a little bit shook. And it looks like maybe Velocity can turn things in their favor.
Yeah, it was a miracle that lasted as long as it did, but they needed to back out there earlier because they're on the spawn territory of Velocity. But then Velocity pushes in very disjointed. I guess Jarrett was gonna bomb forward as well, and then he got body blocked in the air by a soldier, falls down, dies to a pistol shot, and so that's how you lose 3 members of your team and second. And the Uber situation is still in play here because 4-4 is now fully loaded just about. 25% advantage right now, and they're pushing in. Sky dies right away, and everybody else is dying too. The Uber gets deployed. It's virtually hopeless unless Jarrett goes absolutely ham with Shamu here. So far, it's taking forever. Jarrett's clutching it out right now, but there's a scout and a medic, and it was just too much. And that will be the end of the first half. Flow dominating Velocity.
I'm sorry, was that like a 10-minute 3-0?
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
Ridiculous. That's it's not boding well for Velocity, but it is boding well for Flow, of course, because they're the one who really needs this victory. So
yeah, it would help their chances, and I think it really helps your confidence as well. But their record does not reflect how good this team actually is, because it's pretty stacked.
Right. We've got Patty navigating really great avenues when it comes to, taking 1v1s, 1v2s. Mr. Muffins being Mr. Muffins, of course. And then Psy Guy really showing his colors on that pocket soldier. Marmaduke Girls was in control of a lot of the first 2 mid. And yeah, overall, it's just, I'm seeing names that are like, how are these guys 8 and 7? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, the tragedy for this roster is that they've got 4 of the better... Like, if you had to name the top 5 soldiers in Invite, you've probably got 4 of them on this roster.
Right.
So they have an embarrassment of riches there, and I think maybe that was part of the problem. But you've got players that are super good. Psy Guy can just roll in your spot and kill you with the shotgun on command. Marmaduke he's probably the most experienced player next to Banny and Shade in Invite right now, so he can just like arrive and kill you on command.
It's just the power you get, the indoctrination comes with a gift bag that comes with that power.
Yeah, so that's the science there. Patty has played on some really good teams. He's main called forever. And so you've got
he took on Europe almost by his lonesome. Banny was the only other one, but he was with 7 or Swift. Yeah, Swift and A. He was with the hybrid Swift roster. But Patty, against the world, I think he can handle himself.
Yep. So, and Dingo is quite a good demo man. After having started as a scout main, he made the switch in like season 12 and has stuck with it ever since. But we're starting the second half now. Can Flow maintain their dominance or will Velocity suddenly remember how to play TF2?
I'm hopeful for the last one. And we're seeing how it pans out. A lot of high ground for Velocity as Marmaduke Girls navigates his way across the billboard into the choke, putting on the pressure, and nobody's even looking at him. He's just hitting straight up splash rockets to knock down Sky. Sky very low on health right now. Thankfully, can be making the way back to a health pack and moving forward. Speedy initiating, taking care of the Marmaduke threat, and now coming in very high, but gets a direct rocket from Psy Guy, who's not afraid to hit another one from the low ground. He's coming in again. Dingo, excuse me, stupid names. Gonna get taken down. Psy Guy shotguns Rakuso before getting cratered himself, and Patty securing the final frag that will nab them this midpoint.
I'm pretty sure also that during that fight, Psy Guy double air shot a guy who tried to rocket jump. I'm pretty sure that happened as well. Psy Guy just absolutely dunked on them. They should have lost that mid. But now the Uber is in here. It's a solo exchange. They're just going to hightail it out here and hope Velocity overcommit. And it doesn't look like they will. Speedy's doing a little bit of flanking action right now, but it's not anything important. So they just decided to Flow have been doing so well that they just decided to throw something at the wall and see if it stuck, and it didn't quite. But now they can try and do a dry push, because this process area is pretty easy to do, and Velocity have got to be suffering some confidence issues.
Yeah, especially when Flow is taunting them, you could say, you know, just peeking into these chokes, getting the information they need. They're just sitting in every single entrance, applying pressure, calling things out, and Marmaduke Grills is just waiting for the opportunity. He's taking his next buff. First one didn't net anything. He backed his way over from the fence, and now here it is. Fast and hot, just like Papa John's. But they don't deliver. Not tonight, so Marmaduke Grills down. Counter sack?
Well, we've got a... yeah, there it is. The bomb comes in, the bomb goes out. So that's it. Yeah, I'll talk about this since we're probably gonna see a little bit of a break here because they didn't bring in Marmaduke on the Marmaduke sniper. The problem with Velocity's mid is Marmaduke has every single mid jumped into choke and then just spams rockets at them as they're all grouped up. Marmaduke is going to go back in again, and they bring a scout this time too. He's actually going to take an arrow and survive. I lied. And then Patty comes in to help and dies too. So that's a two-man sack with no force. They're probably going to lose mid now.
Yeah, Mafusa keeping the pressure on the IT allows them to focus more of their attention over to the right instead of the choke, and now Velocity have taken full reign. Now we're seeing a counter pop from both sides. We're seeing what can they do. Shamu takes down Saiga. That's a good start. They're going to be making their way through the choke. They're going to pick up Evil Mr. Muffins. Delicious. But now, can Patty, definitely, with a little bit of help from 404, take down Boar. The cap goes to Velocity. Their first mid win in the last 20 minutes. But it's going to be short-lived because Flow are not easy.
Marmaduke got thrown through the air and still hit a direct on a guy standing on top of the crates. And that has led Flow to just run right back in here. However, Dingo does what Dingo does and sticky jumps to his own death, or at least right into it. And we're essentially right back where we started, but no Jarrett for a long time. And I think that's going to lead Guy to try and see what he can do. So we've got Sai coming in now. He's going to lay some damage down. Scouts are there to support him, but still not very committal. They're just kind of feeling it out here. The thing you got to worry about here is your medic might die. Yeah, there. So they felt 404 was starting to get pressure. You pop the Uber. They can't get to Jarrett. He's just left to die back there. And now the bombs come in. Sky's trying to run for her life and isn't going to make it out. The shotgun starts going off from up top here. Guy's just trying to be abusive with it. Then all that's left is poor Rakuso down there who finally gets taken out by Guy's rockets. And there's not a whole lot left of Velocity right now. And we'll see how much does Guy feel himself right now, because he might just try and take this. They're going to try and prevent an engineer from building, but then all the spawns are going to come. So he doesn't feel himself that much, Ro.
Yeah, things are looking up right now for Velocity, holding on to what could have been a disaster. But it's short-lived. That Uber disadvantage is way too big. There's just going to be all the matter of using your off classes, using any kind of, you know, distraction, you know, moth to a flame kind of thing. Where can you waste their resources to win this round? And now with the Sticky's debt, Patty's actually just barely peppering the side of that point. Almost grabs it, but thankfully Speedy on a very substantial amount of health. Keeping an eye on top of this point, the gun does go down, but there is nothing left except for the fragging power of Guy. Throws down, gets taken in. Dingo follows up with Jarrett and all these other players falling down to the scouts. It's a little bit of a desperate pistol play from Patty. He gets taken down here, and now it's Shamu rushing up onto this other combo. It's just himself, and it's not going to be enough. The pistol of Mr. Muffins is too strong, and Flow secure another round. It's game point.
Every time Velocity group up around their medic, Marmaduke bombs them. And it is totally killing them. And we'll see another mid. Will Marmaduke just go behind and spam at them as Velocity does nothing?
Here we go. Will nothing occur? I saw what looked like an explosive air shot, but it might have just been a detonated sticky. Marmaduke Grill's putting so much pressure on Jarrett, and a stray pipe over the blind crate takes down Jarrett. That is very good for them now. They're going to lose out on their own, they're going to lose out on Saigai the Soldier, and they're going to be chasing things down. Velocity are on full red alert right now. Patty, who's keeping the pressure up on top of this high ground. Mr. Muffin's close in tow. They're pressuring him out, and the arrow takes down Boar as well. Insult to injury. I think 404 has more frags than deaths at this point.
Yeah, we'll see at the end of the game for the stats, but that was a misplay there from Velocity. They could have used their Uber to block this situation at second, and they chose instead to just continue to run. And as a result, now they're on their own last down 4-0, and Marmaduke is actually coming in on Spy, so they may or may not be ready for this, but actually they've got their own Spy who gets blind det maybe, or Dingo is just that far advanced. He's gone space brain on us here.
Right. We do see Saigai initiating on the right side very aggressively, not going to get any damage out really. Kind of a lost cause there, unfortunately. And now the little pressure coming out. Shamu poked his head in, and there's a follow-up from Boar as well, but there's the stab that will more than assuredly be the last thing you hear before you lose this match, because now the Uber's coming in. They're bending around this. Can't get any pressure on this point. Velocity is desperate, but nice little play from Jarrett there. Able to grab 2 important frags. No scouts in this last point is really good. But there it is, Dingo with a nice little pipe there. Takes down Jarrett, gonna go down himself. Velocity somehow survived, even losing an Uber entirely.
Yeah, it was essentially Jarrett saved that. Jarrett had some big shots there that killed 2 players. And again, he almost clutched out that last push from Flo. But we'll see what's going on now. Saigai probes in. They've got a CVS Pharmacy Rakuso on their heads, though he's gonna finally fall as Saigai takes him down. The shotgun comes out, but it can't save him from Boar. Speedy's gonna clean up some more, and they're wiping out here. It's just Marmaduke who is up on Spy. So Marmaduke had a good Spy play there earlier because they were like, oh, it's a sack, and then the Spy killed them. Marmaduke is now Spy in an off-Spy situation, which every time I say this, it curses them for it not to work. But at least when I died to Spy as playing Medic, this is when it happened, because you totally don't expect it.
And Sky, oh no!
Oh,
What a great turn of events. Marmaduke whiffs it! And Speedy calls it out for the team, so there's nothing that can be done. I think that's going to be their round. Sky now with full Uber, going to be healing players up. They're working their way into the shutter. The first entrance available to them. Mr. Muffin's on that heavy. Not going to get focused immediately. Sitting inside the safety and the comfort of the spawn door. But now with Shamu picking up Saigai, aka Dingo, it's just a stack on the point. Velocity gets so much time. It's a follow-up from Arctic Grills as well as Sai. Sai's going to be putting up pressure on, but Boar has the better shotgun. It's called the Scatter gun. Takes him down, wins them the round on the last life in that exchange.
Yeah, the Saigai shotgun's strong, but it wasn't strong enough to fend off Boar, who shows what Scout can do by killing 2 soldiers. And now we're going to see another mid here. What we're looking for. Oh, Marmaduke doesn't go behind. This time he just goes straight in and kills Jarrett right to start it. That's a pretty good start.
Yeah, that'll work out for them because now the high ground is all theirs. Saigai keeping the pressure on, or excuse me, Dingo keeping pressure on the point. Gonna be preventing any players from moving up the left side while the rest of his team are keeping eyes full forward. We do see Boar taking a little bit of damage here. Gonna survive, and actually Velocity have turned things around yet again for themselves. It's gonna be the last pistol into Dingo, and they will win them the round. Not the round, excuse me. The mid with a fully charged medic.
You got a lot of confidence in this. Yeah, the trouble for Flo there is they didn't realize the mid was lost soon enough. As soon as 404 died, they needed to just sell out for Sky, and they didn't. So now they're going to lose second. We're not going to see anything out here. And Velocity are just going to assemble and push. So whatever push it is that they talk about late at night doing, you're going to see it just now. And this will be the most pre-planned push they've had tonight.
Here they go. On the right side is going to be the demo spamming it, not getting the best of it. Finally takes it down. The rest of the soldiers are coming in from the left side, doing a very good job taking down the medic with no 4-4 to heal. They got to play around the rest of the frags, but they've managed to lose every single player at what?
Yeah, so that's a botch, but and they're gonna lose more. That play from Shamu, you might say, well, that doesn't make any sense. What Shamu did was run in there and try to get deep so they'd turn around for him, and that allowed Sky to escape. Sometimes you've got to die for your medic, and that was what Shamu did there. So it was actually what looks like a really, really small brain play is actually a giant brain play.
And right now, with Jarrett picking up 2 frags, both scouts, and Rakuso takes down the medic with Speedy following up. It's only a boar trade to grab Martyr Girls. I will gladly take that. Saiga goes down. It is just Dingo. He's got just enough stickies to make it work for 1 frag. He takes down Mr. Speedy. A little bit of crater action. The cat goes off. Saiga is desperately dancing around this point. Oh, but Patty gets to the point in time to stop the cap. Shamu is fighting him head on. Apply directly to the forehead, and that's going to be too much of a headache for Velocity. They're backing out. They can't contest this, but they have the Uber. They're certainly going to come back in, especially with all that cat time in their favor.
Dingo did just enough damage. Okay, I was hearing the text. So our cameraman is talking to us by text, and I got distracted by it. So, but yeah, so there we go. That was one of those plays where Dingo did just enough damage. It may not have been the greatest of demo displays from him, but it was just enough. And now Flow have to brave another push here, and they're not going to be able to pull out the heroics. And it is 4-2 here, as Velocity, they seem to have remembered how to play and are making a name for themselves here. Maybe it was all a clever ruse. They just wanted Flow to feel some confidence.
Yeah, maybe they wanted to make there be absolutely no chance of any other team taking the 4th place. They're like, we want you exactly where we want you. So we're going to give you 4 rounds, and we're going to also take your demo. Right out the gate. Rakuso setting things off very nicely. This is where you play the high ground game. Take down Martyr Grills, and now just push up. Get your players on top. Look at that escaping Saiga. He's not going to get very far. He actually got away, unfortunately. But the pistol was keeping the pressure on. Jarrett not going to lock down that 4. Now he's getting reloaded. He's set. He's going to hold it down now. And we're seeing, for the first time, Flo kind of not sure how to proceed.
Yeah, there was, for the communication they showed earlier, that time Saigai and Marmaduke were like a split second off of each other. And what was supposed to be a double bomb, yeah, there was a huge air shot from Saigai there. And it was disgusting, is probably the only word to describe it. Hopefully console saw that. But Saigai is a revelation. I would just like to watch the whole rest of the game from his perspective, if that's okay.
It's the best way to watch this kind of caliber. You know, when you're stepping up to the plate, you gotta give it all the respect you can, all the time you can. We do see an Invis Watch Rakuso into play here. Not gonna be able to call out information. It's just gonna be one of those desperate things where he's walking backwards as a scout. He's walking around. No, 4-4, don't do this! No! Okay, just a couple butter knives. Oh, the force does come off thanks to that powerful revolver. Don't underestimate it, man. People love their Latrange. That revolver can 2-shot a med after you've whiffed the first few butter knives. But thankfully, a counterforce comes out. Sky not going to be able to use this Uber to the best of their advantage. And now they're going to be trying to get a little bit of ground here. It's Dingo rushing forward. He picks up Sky. And now it's really looking good for New God Flow to turn things around. It's practically a wipe. Rakuso respawning from that great force. He's just going to be hiding with his pain train. Going for a back cat play? No, just going to be playing it cool.
Yeah, that the spy play was initially a botch, but the force was great, and then they said whatever, we'll just do it, and they got too excited, and Flow were really bunched up and just bombed back into them essentially after the chaos of the force subsided, and Velocity weren't able to take the superior positioning up there on the spire, and now we're watching them prep. Now, why would you use this door? The idea of going this way is that they're not going to force. But now they have to. So Patty's going to take this Uber. They're going to run into them. They'll get the roamer. If you're Velocity, that's fine. So this was, if anything, it was a victory for Velocity. That's what you want. Sky now has Uber. They can try to push out. This is an easy map to push out of. They're going to try to go in, cause more chaos, to get the force. Really good play from Flo there to go ahead and get the force while you had a 2-man advantage before it came into you.
Yeah, and actually really nicely that Dingo was able to survive that. He got down to double digits. Very low on health, but an arrow and the pack in main was able to secure him a safety. But now he's a little overextended this time. Had the sign out, no less. And not the real Psy guy, unfortunately, but we'll see Sign guy in the future one day.
Yep, and now they're pushing out. So Flo are gonna probably have to back out from this. Marmaduke is beat up. He's not able to do anything, but then they feed a roamer. So normally you do want a soldier up on that choke to block, but he needs to be supported. They were stacking the point a little too hard, and without anyone to block the choke, Flo comes running in like the tide, and they are ready to use this Uber. They need to get Sky quick though, because she's about 5% from Uber.
Really quick action, takes down that sentry gun right away. Bora as well going down. One less fear to have in this last exchange. 4-4 not going to be able to make the escape, and Velocity looks like they just kind of grabbed every kill for free. They didn't really feel any pressure at all, and Marmaduke Grills manages to grab Chariot and himself. No one else can take the life of Marmaduke Grills but me. And so he goes out with dignity, and Psy picks up Shamu. So Velocity not exactly feeling too great about that defense, even though it was exactly what they needed. They couldn't quite ride that victory forever.
Yeah, now if they build really well here, they will have an Uber to take out. They do have Boar on the sniper as well. The play I'd like to see that, okay, there was a spy in there for a second as well. It's still, what, is he just checking stuff? Or is he out? I'm looking.
Out and about?
No, he's now a soldier. So he was just checking to see if they had brought anything. And yeah, this is exactly what they needed, because, but they lose Boar right after. That would have been really great if they could get the kill with the sniper and then Uber in. But now they've got the kill with the sniper. They're going to follow up and get 2 more. So it worked out fine anyways. I shouldn't have poo-pooed on that.
Yeah, and so now Velocity able to breathe a little bit more. Not going to instantly get 3-0'd right after taking a 4-0 themselves. They're going to hold on to the Spire. We do see Velocity quite close to making it work out in their favor. Hopefully this spam they're doing to prevent Flo from coming in is going to make it a little bit easier for them to survive. But the pressure from Mr. Muffin's just walking to the point, and now if you can just meet up with the rest of the team, they're actually wrapping through the rollout room right now. Outside of one, Sky on 73 HP. No! Nicks the side of the door, but manages to get inside before even taking down. No death there, so the Uber is going to be available to them. Right now, Velocity still fighting on this second point. Not going to grab any frags to contend with, and now it's just Speedy with a 95% Sky. Can it even be possible right now?
Yeah, and the 404 is the first target that's gone for by Speedy, which is really smart. Normally you'd think kill the guys with the guns, but in that scenario, because they know they've got Uber advantage now, if 404 dies, it's just the dumbest play. So you put pressure on 404 and everybody will go away. And so that was good. And now they're just building furiously because they have about a 20-30% advantage. They are checking for off classes. And yeah, that's all they're doing. Rakuso is going to stay on the soldier class. Shamu will be on the engineer, so only one off class to hold this. Oh, there we go. Rakuso going to the pyro.
Yep, typical best friend of the century. Free spam denial. Doesn't work out in this case. A lot of pistol spam coming out from Patty, able to knock that one down. Follow-up Uber is going to be able to knock out 404. He's not going to survive at all. And now the rest of the players from Flow are just not even contesting, excuse me. They're just ending up trying to escape and getting caught out anyway. It's a one last ditch play from Marmaduke Grills, putting out a lot of damage, going to get cleaned up by Shamu. And now Velocity finally able to breathe a little bit more. They've got a small advantage, very negligible in my opinion, but they have the numbers and they could potentially do something. No, it's even numbers, or even numbers now. But they're sending in players for some reason, and it's Boar as well as Speedy, very low on health. Iron Bomber Roller. Thankfully for the reduced radius of explosion, he will survive.
Yeah, it's Flow. Really the main problem for Flow so far is that their after Uber positioning is not great, particularly for 404. Like something's going on with their calls right now that is really disorganized, and 404 doesn't know where to stand or where to be, as it were. And so he is dying at the end of Ubers a lot these last couple times they pushed into last, or he's at least been under a great deal of pressure, and that's really hurting them right now. But we'll see as things are going to happen soon. Flow have had some pretty interesting ways of sacking into mid here, so we'll see what they pull out of their bag of tricks.
What's the trick you're looking for?
I don't know. Right now it's the time out the round trick, because they're all just standing on the rock not doing anything.
Yeah, victory by default. Yeah,
well, I mean, if you park the bus here, they're winning, so...
Right. It's a time-honored tradition to, if you're winning in rounds, don't do anything. It's your right to hold on to that mid. Marvin Grills says, you know what? I'm going to be the change I want to see. And he jumps in and dies. And that's a beautiful thing, Marxist.
Yep, and you'll see Speedy try to escape, but the door was trapped. So the circular escape door goes down, and we're just going to have to wait now as Marmaduke is respawning. They did rotate over to IT. Usually that area is pretty weak without the roamer in there, and they were correct, but Jarrett fixes things, knows just what to do when you don't have a roamer, and that's actually good enough for them. Velocity are coming in now.
It's looking really good for them. Big damage coming out from Jared. Able to get the couple frags on top of these players. The forces are coming around and about, but not going to be lasting very long. A little bit of extra juggling takes Mr. Muffins to the sky. He's a high-rise boy, and he will not fall flat. 2C404 calling out Uber, obviously fake. The cap is still going off, and Velocity might be able to grab this while keeping on the pressure to take the second point. This is the kind of momentum you need to really set an impact on your enemies, but now they're deciding to back out. Thankfully not going to get punished by being all clumped up at the choke. It's easy flow right now, but how long will it last?
Yeah, the big problem for them there was actually Saigai jumped onto the spire and landed directly onto a sticky that had been planted there for a while and got knocked to half health. And so the bomb the double soldier bomb they've used all night to wreck Velocity just couldn't happen. And that's how they just were clumped in the choke and didn't get punished. But it's interesting right now. Velocity are on the march back. Dingo's going to take some damage there too. And it looks like they're going to try and do a slow push here. See if Flow makes a mistake and then use it as an avenue for a sack. They do have a soldier in behind right now. That is Speedy. And we'll see what they do with that.
Yeah, if he wasn't so weak, he would have actually been in a good position to take down Dingo. But he got the health pack, runs back in, immediately puts the pressure onto Dingo. Not going to get the frag there. Sai goes down. That's actually not good. I'm getting my names mixed up. This is driving me nuts. But thankfully, Velocity coming back full force right now. We do see not really a lot to work with other than just the numbers, and Marvin Grills keeping the pressure on at the rollout room. Takes a little bit of pressure off the Jarrett, but he has to worry about it because he actually jumped away from the point, and Shamu just suspended him in midair and was able to finish off that cap. So we're looking at a 3-4 with very little time left. 4 minutes, 12 seconds. It's possible to close this out to a 5-4 for either team right now, but time is tight.
Oh yeah. And now we're going to watch this mid hero, and it's going to be a toughie. So we'll see. So far, no Marmaduke behind, so they haven't gone for that strat, at least not yet. Both teams are playing the more passive style mid. Mainly for Flow, you just don't want to die, because if you hold on for 4 minutes, you win the game. So that's all you need to do. But now they're kind of grouping and pushing. Side shotgun is going off as the scouts move forward as well. A flank around is coming. It's going to do quite a bit of damage, but Boar will die first. Guy will be followed, or Dingo rather, and then they'll lose Rakuso. So not going well for Velocity right now, and they're going to force the Uber. 404 doesn't have it yet, but that's not a big deal. It's just an Uber Jarrett here, and oh, but Sky is going to keep the Uber going a little bit longer, trying to show off what she can do there. Eventually will fall, and now that mid will go down, and that's probably the end of the game. Well, I'd say it definitely is, because there's no way Velocity has enough time.
Yeah, it would be very difficult for them to do anything that would require a back-to-back. I mean, we could see it happen. Flo, on the premise of let's win this round right now, can push, fail, and then we see the classic, we can have the new TCM comeback, but it honestly is much more in their interest to just kind of play it slow. Thankfully, though, they're doing it for the fans, even though they have a direct hit in their hands. And oh man, thankfully,
yeah, Psy's direct hit did not pan out at all.
Exactly.
But I mean, honestly, with teams running sentry guns like they do now, and teams having trouble with the sentry, I mean, you go bang bang, and that's a dead sentry. So. Yep. And a pyro could reflect it, but it would be a little bit harder at least, since you're not used to that timing. But that will see Velocity push out to second, not that it really matters. But you never know. If they really blow it up here and just run to last, it could happen. Maybe.
I'm feeling it right now, Marxist. With a full Uber to work with, they just got to worry about this one bomb from Marty Grills. He instantly gets taken down there. Unfortunately, Patty will pick up Speedy, but with Guy also going down, it's looking good. No soldiers to contend with. That's exactly what you want to have when you're coming into this mid, because those are the biggest threats. It's something that can get over the top of the crates and into your face and then just put you into a corner. There's so many problems that can happen if you leave a soldier alive. So now with that dispatched with, they need to hurry up because they're waiting just a little bit too long. They're worried too much about these stickies, and this Uber is definitely going to be ready if they don't push now. They've waited too long. They've exhausted their last chance to try and get the Uber in immediately, kill 404, and then take the rest of the fight from there.
Yeah, and they have to know they waited too long now. I think the hesitancy there was that they had a scout eat a pipe and die on that mid push, and they didn't want to do this without two scouts. So now they've got two players in behind, roughing up pots and pans, and Boar and Speedy will die. There's pressure on the point. They're on 404, and also Guy will die as well. Now it's just clutch plays, more or less, and it's not going to happen. Jarrett is down. Sky and her scout, Shamu, are trapped, and they're gonna die. So that's probably the end of this one. For sure now, they almost had it. It could have been there for a little second, but I don't know. They just decided to hesitate.
Yeah, the hesitation there was definitely... It's easy to say, wow, that was a big mistake. Why didn't they just push? But you know how it is with counting Ubers, high pressure situation, we're low on time. Hey, let's make sure we don't die to the stickies, but when they don't have any soldiers, your biggest weapon for pushing into second is, hey, they have no soldiers. We don't have to worry about the blind bomber coming in hot as we're all flooding this choke. They just need to, you know, do something to clear the stickies. One sticky to blast, a little precautionary sticky blast to take away the stickies that are the traps that are there, and then have the scouts pull things through and then just keep the pressure on, but it wasn't there. They didn't have the rest of their squad, the confidence.
I mean, a big problem for Velocity tonight is I don't know who their caller is, but they had some moments of hesitation tonight. Particularly the first three mids were just not particularly strong. And those are things that whoever your team leader is has to deal with. A decision has to be made about what's going to be done with Marmaduke when he's behind you. And their decision to do nothing was not the correct option. And then there at the end of the game, you've just got to go. You don't really have too many choices left. Even if they had taken that fight and there was an Uber out there, you've still got like maybe 10, 15 seconds to spare to take last. So you have to go. If you dilly-dally with it and try to do the post-Uber fight, you're committing to blowing probably 30 seconds over capping second, and then you're done. You can't win. But we'll transfer over to the stats here just to wrap things up. Do you see anything right away sticking out to you, Ro?
On the stats that I accidentally just closed.
Okay, well, I can cover
Well, I
them,
can
you
tell you,
know?
I did actually look at one thing because I was keeping track of it. I didn't get to see when 4-4 was 2-1 or 2-2, but I did notice that despite that, things shifted back into the favor of Velocity. They were killing
Yeah,
4-4
you
much more
cursed them.
often, and they actually managed to make it so that good old Sky died less than 4-4, but the frags were equally shared.
Yeah, the later the game went, the worse their combo positioning became. I don't know if that's just overconfidence or like you relax once you go up 4-0. So that may be what it was, and it's just an aberration. But yeah, later on in the game, their positioning was inferior, and that led to a lot of 404 deaths. So, but both medics tying each other with 2 frags each. Your king fragger for the evening was Shamu at 39 and 20. And who's our top damager? You've got, yeah, it
Psy?
would be Psy Guy,
I don't even have it up, and I
aka
know it's Psy.
Dingo.
Who else could it have been? That was
It's
just
Dingo actually.
oh
Dingo on demo doing 291.
okay, never mind then.
Real Psy Guy, aka Dingo, was at 229 and 21 and 24.
That seems wrong. It felt a lot higher than that, you know.
Yeah, well, it wasn't. So
Well, now I just feel like
he has a
shameful
lot
boy.
of big impact plays, so we talk
Right.
about him a lot.
Sure.
But and our king struggler was the CVS Pharmacy Rakuso, who went 13 and 30.
You ain't dying, you ain't trying.
Yeah, if you ain't dying, you ain't trying. That is some classic Roamer play from Rakuso. I gotta give him a shout out for doing that. I'm not making fun of him by any means. That's how it's meant to be done. So I salute you.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing to see.
Yeah, and so as far as that goes, that's really all there is. I mean, there is one last thing is Speedy with 7 med picks. That was a lot. Speedy had 404's number, and that's fully half of his deaths were to Speedy. So A+ work there too. But really, that's all I see out of the stats for right now. It ended up being a really close game, so nice to see Velocity regain their footing. But hopefully next time these two teams face, Velocity won't need the warm-up period and everything will be good.
Yeah, things are looking up for Velocity. Even though they just lost this, it's whatever. They've secured their place in the playoffs, and that's all that really matters. And so we'll be getting back to you guys as the playoff brackets settle, as we see what happens with the forfeit wins you were mentioning, and all these other things going on with dead teams. We'll see how it aligns itself, and then we'll be getting back to you guys with some hot playoff action for this season. We're going to be wrapping things up over the next couple of weeks, and we hope you guys can join us for that. You can keep up to date with the teamfortress.tv website. Schedule's constantly getting updated. We're getting last-minute posts for the matches, but usually we're ahead of time when they're not quickly being shifted at a undisclosed time. So go to teamfortress.tv, follow the Twitter. I don't think we have Facebook, so I'm just not going to mention that. And we're going to go... Crap, we have a Facebook, but I would not recommend it because I don't know anything about it. So I want to test it for myself, and then I'll let you guys know if it's good. But you can also just check for yourself.
Yeah, don't forget to check us out on Instagram.
We've got hot volcanoes erupting in the distance, courtesy of Jazz Butts, and yeah, hot stuff on our Instagram. I don't know what to say, Marxist. I'm
How about thank you, good night.